You have a permit for that permit? Yeah. You need a permit to stick that permit to the window. There's window permitting permit.
Yeah. You need a permit for your permit.
Adhesive permit. It's the adhesive permit.
Yeah. You need a permit. You need a permit. Yeah. You need a permit to hang the permit.
Yeah. We need to double check the adhesives you're using to hang the permit are EPA regulated.
Inspector has to come out and inspect the hanging of the permit.
Dude, hell's going to be full of inspectors and lawyers. Judges.
Inspectors and lawyers.
They'll all be yelling at each other. Did you do that right? They're all fat. They're laying in big fucking piles because they can't move because they don't do shit but fucking strong arm rob people. Yeah. So they're out of shape. You rarely see an inspector that's in shape. Rarely. Yeah. I've never seen one.
Huh.
Ever. I've seen them in shape day one, and then by 2 years down the road, they're so fat. They're like the Oompas. Like they ate the blueberry gum. I'm tasting schnozberry. And they blow up like a fucking grapefruit.
They're fat cats. That's what they are.
There's going to be a whole hell full of politicians, lawyers, judges.
Yeah.
Auto mechanics.
I'm pretty sure right now that if I were to guess, like, heaven's like empty. You get up there and there's a heaven, but nobody's in it.
You don't want to hang with them people anyway. They're going to be boring as hell.
The only person in heaven is my grandma Dorothy.
Yeah. I would hang with her though.
Yeah.
My son never did nothing wrong. He didn't have a chance. So
I'm pretty sure my son didn't do it, but I don't know for sure.
But my son's already there, so it could be any day I go visit him.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So here's what we say. If those two are there, dude, heaven is worth every bit of what they've talked about over and over, like punching in your face. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, blah, 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 blah.
It's funny when you go to church, like, and people are like really into the church, and they like the pastor will say something, and then they reply. They don't say the same thing. They reply something back, but they all know it, and they all say it together. It's like I feel like I'm in a foreign country.
No, if it wasn't for the audience, I would probably be sleeping.
So they're responding and like into the chant and they all know it. I don't know shit about what they're saying.
All my girlfriends knew this shit too.
Yeah.
Church, like, and there was like a funeral or a wedding. Those are only 2 times I ever went. They would know that. I was like, damn, I feel real stupid. They just must love me for my body.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you remember all that shit?
But they were there and doing that. Well, women are smart at some shit. Some women can remember shit. I'm not saying that. Oh, way better.
Women are smarter than men.
Dude, I suck at remembering shit.
Me too.
But all my girlfriends, whenever I was at wherever they were saying that, I'm guessing it was a funeral. Did they say that in a wedding?
They say it. They say it when they do the full mass. So if you go to a wedding and they do the full mass at the wedding, then
all my girlfriends knew that shit, and I just mumbled it, like moved my mouth, like pretended to know, because they can't really tell if the sound's coming from me.
I never knew what the fuck they're saying.
Rah 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 rah. I'm like a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
I stuck my hand in her ass, and I pretended like I was doing her mouth.
Yeah.
Rah, 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 rah. I'm a ventriloquist. Oh, wait, that was after.
I have to take an Uber tomorrow. God.
That was after the wedding.
You ever take an Uber?
Fuck no.
Oh.
Hey, listen.
Here's what sucks.
Was after the wedding.
Yeah, I took a fucking Uber.
Motherfuckers.
They don't even pick me up at my door. They pick me up 2 blocks of fucking way, and then they charge me a wait fee. It's like a scam.
I'd say if you don't come to my door, I'm not calling you.
I bitched them out, man.
I need another Uber guy. We should start our own little thing. We'll call it Goober.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay, we hock a loogie in your face.
Uh-huh. We only pick up broads.
You got the money? No? And on your family. That's how you get payback.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting beat up. It's just a hockaloogie to the face, dude.
Here's a good idea. Start an Uber, right? That only women drive and they only pick up women. Because you know how women are afraid to get picked up by dudes and shit?
Yeah.
So this way the women never have to be afraid. They always know the driver's a fucking woman.
That's a fucking good idea, dude.
And they only pick up women.
Yeah.
Right.
God, we're separating ourselves like insects.
They could call it slant.
I tell people sometimes, when they're like mad at their wife, if someone says, hey, my wife divorced me and she took everything and kids and the car and I gotta work, I say, listen, in the insect world, you'd be lucky if she just didn't decapitate you and move on.
She can fucking eat you and feed you
in
the
the
babies.
In the insect world, the men are just little pawns for sperm. And they just get decapitated half the time.
Yeah,
so
you know what? You're lucky she didn't, listen, you're lucky she didn't paralyze you and then lay her eggs inside you.
And then fucking they eat you.
Eat you from the inside out.
I would have to say we lucked out in the mammal world because we're like, we could have been in the insect world of mammals. And then the woman mates you like a black widow and then cut your fucking head off.
Right. Fucking lay her eggs inside you.
I'd say we won that battle. So just take the laws of the car and the house and say,
you're good. You're good to go.
Because deep down in her mind, she thought like an insect and wanted to like hit you with a fucking scorpion tail when you got divorced. But she couldn't legally. But if she had that tail, whoosh, all you, bro. Next dude. Done, done. On to the next one. Done. I'm on to the next.
Only pick up broads. Broads only pick up broads.
You know why grizzly bears eat their young when
they'll
they're
never
born?
be afraid again.
So the female runs away. God,
I'm always thinking. That's why.
When grizzly bears mate, the female takes off because the male will eat the young. And he only does that to make her leave. It's like, man, I hate you so much. I'm going to eat our kids. Get out of here.
I hate you so much.
Obviously, they would stick around.
Yeah, I'm going to piss you off. I'm going to eat our kids.
Lions stick around and they make all the women work and they lay around. Then they get all the meat and leave a little bit left. And they let the kids starve if there ain't enough meat. That's how they kill the kids, by starvation. But they pretty much will stick around and be loving. I mean, why do grizzly bears do that? They're like, fuck this, man. I've been doing this. Here's what I want to do. I want to mate, eat a bunch of deer.
The bears kill the baby because then the female will go and heat again, I think, because he's horny. That's what it is.
Whatever it is.
I'm sure that's it.
Dude, he's fucking more than just that bear.
Yeah, he wants to make sure they're all in heat.
He wants them to leave so he doesn't have to pay child support.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So then all he really wants to do is mate, eat a feast of food, deer and whatever he can get his hands on, and sleep most of the year.
That's it.
That's all he wants to do. Have sex, eat a lot of food, sleep most of the year. And he doesn't even want her to be involved. He's not even involved in the raising of them. Yeah. If I was a lawyer for the bears, I would make a fortune because none of these male bears participate.
Yeah. They're all absentee fathers.
They never go get food for the kids. Male bears make us look bad.
What the fuck's with male bears, man? Why did they get away with that for so long?
Yeah. I should be a bear. Fuck this shit.
What about cheetahs? Like, I don't think cheetahs, male cheetahs hang around.
Stuck at football, dude. They got rid of their cheerleaders. Just like I said, they kicked them out. Got rid of the cheerleaders, and they just want a fucking nap.
The cheetahs, I think the men don't hang around.
That's why they call them cheetahs. Shit.
Wow, that was good.
That's why we do this, dude.
They call them cheetahs.
We are full of useless information some days, and then we bring you real scientific information. And today, we're really not in the mood to bring you down. Not in the mood to bring you down about the Dow market.
Yeah, I'm not bringing up. I heard a whole bunch of negative shit today, and I decided not to bring any of it up.
I'm not talking about none of this negative politics because it's all negative. If you tell me, if there's positive, negative.
Our last show was super negative.
And I don't ever steal shit.
Yeah,
and
the thing you lost a fucking awesome thing too.
I see people do it all the fucking time.
Yeah, I hate it.
Irks the shit out of me.
You have no idea how much I see of it.
It's your
my world.
Business. I think and then it puts you like, once someone tells me that like they steal something, then it just changes my view of them. It could be something simple.
Yeah.
It could be something real small. But then it's like, I really don't have a trust in you because like I got
you
a lot.
You can't trust that person now.
From that time forward.
Right, that's true.
And it seems like it's a lot of motherfuckers though.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking bastards. You always gotta look over your shoulder.
You always gotta lock your shit up and put alarms on it and
easy.
Fucking.
Dude, you know what? Once we start endorsing shit, they're gonna want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Just like Johnny Carson. He's like, and now for a commercial break. Now they don't even do that shit. They don't even say that. Then he pull up like, cheer, it'll make your clothes cleaner. And he had a little thing of it, and then it went to the cheer commercial.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how he got fat, dude. Come on.
Did he get fat?
He was endorsing shit. No, fat with the cash. Fat stack with the fat ducky in the basket. He was promoting everything, dude.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Well, I think everybody wanted to be on his show, like every commercial company wanted to.
They said, dude, if you'll pull a cheer package, with a cardboard box back then, detergent, now it's probably a liquid.
It's like one of them little things that kids can eat accidentally. You ever hear that? It looks like a little piece of candy.
Now, but those pods and shit, years ago it was just a detergent that we leached into the system and never knew about, or we did, but we didn't know. Now it's liquid detergent that leaches into the system.
Yeah. 75, that's the limit where we just euthanize everybody.
You're a fucking wacko.
Isn't that true?
Dude, half of our government would be gone.
75, man. That's the limit.
Gone, like,
it's like Logan's Run, dude. It's like 75.
You either go over here to Pleasure Island,
right,
and you guys all fucking take Viagra and have saggy sex, or we're gonna euthanize you.
75, that's the limit.
Problem is, those motherfuckers have held all the money for so long.
Yeah.
Once they die and relinquish it all to people who have common sense, it's gonna change
75.
everything. And hoarding that money.
Because when you become like, what do you become like?
Yeah, but fourth grade
you're not useful.
Yeah.
If you like if you lose your usefulness, what's the point of society?
If you're
shouldn't keep
90,
you.
Algebra was a college education.
Algebra. Dude, you know what? Isaac Newton. How long ago was Isaac Newton around?
How long ago was he? Or how long did he live? He lived about 217 years. He was the longest living human.
He was?
He invented gravity. He floated right out of here.
He invented gravity.
Back.
God.
He invented gravity.
He did. He must have.
He did. He invented gravity. He was like, the fuck? Why did that apple hit me on the head? He was taking some.
It's funny that nobody was thinking that an apple was falling before that.
They were. They just they weren't rich enough to have time to think about why it happened. They
didn't have time. They had to work. They had to work all day.
And they were farming fields and getting stolen from by kings.
They were picking apples. They weren't worried about them falling.
He's just like, hey, this is gravity. He was smoking a joint.
1643 is when he was born. You know what? He invented calculus, is what I'm saying.
Did
calculus. He? Yeah, he invented calculus.
Gravity hasn't changed.
He came up with the whole idea of calculus. So that's how long we've been doing calculus.
Holy shit. I wonder if that apple, like, gave him some kind of concussion and it opened up like a little door in his brain where he knew math. If it wasn't for the apple, Did he invent calculus before the apple hit him in the head?
I have no idea. I'm assuming after.
Yeah. So the apple may have, like, opened up a door in his brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know why he invented calculus? Because it hadn't been invented yet. Someone else would have done it. It's just he was the first one that had the chance. Just like everything else. Like, silly putty. Silly putty was actually originally invented to take the char remains from your fireplace. You know, when you get, like, soot.
Yeah.
It's outside your fireplace on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Silly putty was invented to erase that off your wall. Then it turned into silly putty. Someone probably stuck it on the newspaper because we had printing.
Yeah.
Printing is. Back when printing was a thing, they're like, holy shit, it takes printing off. Then everyone was like, wow, that's silly. Wow, this is some silly ass putty. Exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Let's say we put it in an egg. Why? Because it's Easter, dude. Fucking, I figured this out on Easter.
Yeah.
That's how shit was invented.
Well, it's funny that Isaac Newton.
Yeah, it was like, that was the shit, dude. Look up how much money.
Well, he thought of ways to relate rates with each other, and then that's, I think, how he came up with it. Dude. Like, how do you relate different rates to each other?
Here, you tell the scientific part, because that's a part of our show.
That's the part that's amazing to me. It's like, who thought of that? No. Like, what were they, just bored?
Where you do the science part keeps the science people intrigued.
Is that it? I don't think basic calculus is keeping science people intrigued. I got to go beyond that.
No, we're telling where it came from. Like the evolution of science.
This history of science.
There was a caveman that he was writing some mad shit on the wall with some charcoal, and they're like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, oh, I'm way past
It's like a cool history class. It's all about science.
He's writing shit on the, like, algebra in a cave with a stick that was charred. The fuck is this? He's like, I'm the first scientist.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, that's some symbols we never saw. We're used to, like, an elk and 4 guys with spears.
Chasing it.
Writing all this fucking with slashes and minus and all that shit.
They had to kill that guy.
They killed him. I was just gonna fucking say that. Fuck. You caught me like a second. One fucking second before that. I was gonna say
it's voodoo to them.
They killed that motherfucker day one. Once you start writing equations. There's like 2 deer. How would you say this in algebra?
Yeah.
Use wildlife and vegetation and make an equation real quick. 3 squared deer are equivalent to 8.
3 times deer plus elk equals 3. Elk plus deer equals 7. What does elk and deer equal to?
Then they put a spear right through the back.
It takes 2 equations to figure out 2 variables.
Elk plus deer plus corn minus.
That takes
onion,
3 equations.
Minus onion.
Now 4.
The squared bloodletting.
Right. That's a quadratic equation now.
See, that's what makes our show interesting. Because we could take simple theories.
3 elk squared plus 3 elk minus 4 equals 0. You need the quadratic equation to figure that out. Yeah. A smart-ass engineer.
A smart-ass fucking engineer. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Some people are like, I'm so tired of just a regular rigmarole.
I'm so sick of quadratic equations.
You have a fucking engineer that's a smart ass? Because
you got a fucking quadratic equation?
I'm tired of listening to just like average people smart asses.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
Smart asses.
I want to go to Mars. Like, after like,
I wish you did.
I mean, they're picking people. I know a lot of shit. I know a lot about electronics and.
Go to fucking. You ever been to New Mexico? It's the same fucking thing.
I mean, I'm just thinking that I'd be good.
New Mexico is Mars.
I don't like people, so.
Desert and sand.
There's no people up there.
Yeah, that would get boring real fast.
I think it'd be.
You're like, you have.
I think once you get there, you can't come back, though. That's the problem.
The first thing I do is open up a brothel.
Yeah.
Because you're like, welcome to Mars. You need some pussy? I'm sure you need pussy. It was like a fucking 3-month journey. You get here.
You get the first liquor license on Mars.
Second you get there, you want to get laid. You're like, fuck, I've been in a vessel for 3 months.
Dude, how do I get a liquor license up here?
You get there, there's a bar with a bunch of hookers. You're like, I love Mars, man. Fuck, I'm never leaving this place. They send the hookers and the liquor first. Make sure you send the hookers and the liquor.
Yeah, you get up there,
no one's going to want to stay. No one's going to want to stay if those two things aren't there.
You're like trying to pace yourself, like trying to figure out how many shots you got left.
You're like, you want to go to Mars? Yeah. How many hookers and liquor is there? None? Oh, fuck that. I ain't going. They're like, there's loads of hookers and liquor in Mars. Where do you sign me up, man?
Here's what I think they should do before they send you. Here, listen to this.
It's not about competition.
I'm afraid there's some kind of life form underground that's just going to eat you when you get there. So here's what we got to do first.
That's happening every day here in Earth.
Here.
On Earth.
You know how they got the probe that goes up there and then videotapes what's going on? They need to drop like a big side of beef on the ground and see what happens. Before I go up there, I want to see what happens to that side of beef. Like, a bunch of worms come out of the ground and just fucking devour it.
You know what they should do? They should not pretend that they're filming this in New Mexico and tell us the truth.
Did you hear that a famous basketball player, I'm not going to say his name, thinks that we didn't go to the moon?
Which one?
It's Stephen Curry from Golden State.
No, I just like none of them.
You don't know any of them, but he's a famous one.
No, I meant like they didn't have enough education to figure this out already.
Huh. He thinks we didn't go. So.
Whatever. Who gives a fuck? Dude, even if they fake this whole Mars thing, isn't that a good scam? Billions of dollars. Yeah. You put a little fucking Land Rover in fucking New Mexico in the desert, pretend like these are the pictures you're taking. That'd be awesome, dude. I'm pretty sure that's what they did with the Mars thing, but
it costs like $100,000 to put the whole thing together, and then you take the $300 million. I'm pretty fucking sure I saw the footage. I was like, I'm not really impressed with what I'm seeing. I was thinking I'd see these guys from Mars, like Invasion from Mars. I'm thinking you drop a big beef jerky and see what happens to it first. Before I go up there.
Side of beef.
See if a bunch of worms come out of the ground and start eating it.
Stop. You know what it would cost our government for NASA to drop a side of beef on Mars? $17 billion, dude.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So here, and really it only costs like $50 and a fucking GoPro over there in fucking New Mexico, where it's solid pace. GoPro. No, they can't use a GoPro because it's not, the quality's too good. They need like a little shittier quality to make it look like it's way out in space. Like all of a sudden cameras suck in space? What? This should be crystal clear shit.
Yeah.
You're making it look like
I think it's not like 8 fucking K video. If you're going to send something up there, you might as well send the best camera we got.
So what they do is they use some old they don't even have a GoPro, dude. They got like a Sinclair computer hooked up to some shit to make an old-fashioned video to make it look like it's way far away for the dummies to believe.
They got a Commodore 64.
No.
64 megabytes. Fucking storage.
That's exactly what they're doing, dude, and they're laughing.
Yeah.
You see all these people that were in the room when they're like, hey, this is the first video. You look around, there's like no equipment around them anymore. It's like they're just in a fake conference room waiting to fool everybody of how much money they're really raking out of motherfuckers for some bullshit.
Yeah.
Even if they did land on Mars.
It must be hard to get up there, trust me.
I really fucking doubt they sent a rover there.
I believe they did.
I don't.
You're full of shit.
That's why you and me are two different people on this show.
Yeah.
I think they faked the whole fucking thing.
Uh-huh.
They've been stroking our ass for so long, and who gives a fuck? When it's in the billions of dollars, do you think they give a shit what you and me think? They're gonna make some stupid fake fucking video and pretend like we landed on Mars. And even, let's say we did land on Mars. Let's say you're right. Why?
Because that's where we're moving next. We're going to live up there.
Why, bro? Why did we waste all this money to go see a desert in the fucking space, dude?
I don't know. I got to go, though.
We would have to fix a lot more shit, I think, before we think that's our first priority.
Yeah.
In this world.
That's where we're going to have to move when we trash this planet.
I'll tell you what, dude. That's not where you and me are moving. That's where they plan on moving, and it ain't gonna work, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Or they would already set some shit up. They're stretching. All our governments, every government leader should be ashamed of themselves. And we need to start, look what's happening in France right now. We're gonna bring this up, I'm gonna drop it at that. They finally are fucking tired of the bullshit, eating an apple.
Eat an apple, man, take it easy. I just ate an apple.
Oh shit, my back is killing me, man.
I went and saw the Nutcracker Ballet yesterday.
Really?
You know what that's about?
It's about this, it's about a young man who sucks at the balance beam.
Seriously, do you?
It's the Nutcracker. Are you kidding me? It's a true story. It's about a nutcracker with a broken tooth, and he goes to see the dentist, but because he has Obamacare, he's not covered, and they send him walking.
Wow.
Is that what it's about? He broke his tooth cracking nuts, and now...
It's about a girl coming of age.
He got an abscess, and now he has brain damage.
It was the best version of it I've seen. And you know what was cool? During the Waltz of the Snowflake...
Yeah.
They had these big things in the ceiling that shot snow down on the whole audience.
Real snow or like just...
I think it was, it was real, dude. It was weird.
Because otherwise you'd have to clean that shit up.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then the whole background was like this beautiful blue ice stuff, and then the ballet people that did the snowflake dancing were just perfect. Their outfits were just beautiful. And then nowadays, because this is my 5th time, I think, going to the Nutcracker in my life. But now with these new light things, like, have you ever watched a hockey game and see how they could put the whole country on the ice and stuff, and it looks so real?
Yeah.
Well, now they can put that kind of shit on the stage, and it's just amazing. All kinds of special effects and shit and light.
Right.
It just looks like it totally changes the whole image of the whole ballet. It makes it just pop, you know?
Right.
It was crazy. Like I'd never seen one that good. And all that Tchaikovsky music, man, it's music you know of from Christmas, like that you hear on commercials and shit. You just don't even realize it's, from that, It's like the March and the Waltz of the Sugar Plum Fairy. And It's dun 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 dun. It was so good. It was just like, and you know what was funny is everybody in there is like a certain set of people, you know. It's like, I can't describe it exactly without being kind of mean, but it's not your typical Harley biker set or gangbangers or it's like, it's a certain set
of people that are there.
Yeah, in the crowd.
Right, the pompous crowd.
Pretty much, the pompous crew. Oh, that was fucking awesome.
Who else would go, like...
Who else would spend $85 a ticket?
I mean, other people would go see fucking Lil Wayne or some shit.
It's like a tradition, you know? That's why I do it.
It's like the Yule log. Are we back on that thing?
Like, it started in 1890s or something in Russia, you know? So, it didn't even hit the U.S. till like the 1940s. But if people stop going, you know, that kind of shit'll die.
If people stop eating nuts.
It'll just, you know, it's like tradition. Traditions are disappearing, man. It's like nobody... Like the other day I was reading, you know, the Louisville Slugger, they make all these Louisville Slugger bats here in Louisville, and they got this big museum, you can take tours of it.
Right. Now they probably make them in China, right?
A Chinese company just bought them this week. It's like the young owners of these long-time traditional companies are just cashing them out for money. Not even thinking about our tradition or about Americans' future, you know? It's all about the buck.
We've pretty much sold everything to every other country, little by little.
We've sold ourselves out.
There's going to be some rich person in another country that wants to buy what we do.
I mean, what... It
shouldn't
be about the money. I mean, what about 2 generations from now? You're going to be dead. You're cashing a company out, and 2 generations from now, it could have still been American, you know?
Well, what about
You're a piece of crap. I think everybody at Louisville Slugger, the owners of that company, they're all pieces of crap. That's my personal opinion.
If we keep giving everything away, there's going to be nothing to do here. I mean, we're like biting our nose off to spite our face. I mean, without jobs, we can't buy stuff. So this country's going to go down the tubes real fast.
Yeah.
And if we keep selling these companies off like that, China doesn't give a shit who buys their stuff as long as they're buying it. And there's plenty of other people purchasing shit from China. So we got way too arrogant thinking that we're the only ones.
Do the Chinese care about the Louisville Slugger like we care about it?
We used to be the only ones, but we're not anymore.
I'm telling people out there, don't ever buy another Louisville Slugger bat. Ever again. Don't. They sold it out. It's Chinese now. It's an American tradition. We created the bat, basically. We created the sport. And we sold it so a few people could make a quick buck.
We sold the Radio Fire to China. I mean, those 2 things, the Louisville Slugger, the wagon, I mean, what else? We sold every little bit by bit away. It's a shame.
I wish there was some way you could punish the people who sold it. Like, come up with a way to punish them. Like, don't sell anything to them. It's like, if they want to buy something, if like they want some work done or something, just don't do it.
Just
ban
make it impossible for them to get the wood.
Make them impossible for them to do anything. If they want to go to the store and buy something, don't sell them a bottle of wine. Nothing. Cut them off from the whole country.
That ain't happening.
That's what we need to do, man. We got to make a website of all these people that sold out America and cut them off from everything American. Pay them back.
We're running out of American stuff. I have a little collection of things that say "Made in the USA" on the back. They're like back from when I was a kid, and it's like those are so rare. I'll show people it, and I'll say, tell me what you notice about this." Nobody even gets it.
No, they're
and
oblivious.
I'm like, flip that thing over. It says "Made in the USA." And it's on a plastic container. When was the last time you saw "Made in the USA" on a fucking piece of plastic?
Yeah, I don't think we probably make any plastic here anymore.
What it is it's a watercolor set from Ben Franklin. It has a price tag on it.
Yeah.
Remember price tags?
Remember that was a job where you would just like price tag everything with a little price gun?
Yep.
It's like, good clink, you just go to each thing. That was a fun job.
It was so inaccurate, and people would switch the tags. Wow, it was just a mess.
Yeah.
People would switch price tags. That was a big thing. Those days are gone. Those fucking idiot price tag switchers.
Nothing's worth anything anymore. Maybe we should just all move to China.
I bought a can of canned air from China to clean my computer board. When I hit the button, smog came out.
They don't even want to work in China anymore. They're selling their jobs to Africa.
They're going to come take our land because they fucked their property up so bad. And we have plenty of good fresh land. We keep letting them fucking build their arsenal of weapons and shit. You should be telling them motherfuckers, you can't build a damn thing.
Yeah. How we let communists buy things from America is unbelievable. Like, dude, our grandpa would flip out. They're communists.
We had China and Russia so fucking poor and over the barrel, and then we just handed them everything right back.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's fucking. We had them begging us.
Begging now us for food.
To fuck off.
Yeah.
We fucked that up big time.
One generation of baby boomers.
There's a whole generation of people that fucking fucked
the baby boomers. That's who it was.
Because they were more worried about going out and drinking on a Friday night than paying attention to what was going on.
They were more worried about making $5 extra, and that's it. Just to sell the country out. They're the worst generation. It's like we used to have the best generation, which is like the World War II generation. The baby boomers were the worst generation. That's what they should call it. The worst generation. That's a good title for them. Get rid of baby boomers.
Right? They should even have say so now. Like, you see them chiming in and you're like, dude, you had your fucking chance.
You blew it. You wrecked this whole country. You polluted it.
Like, you really think we were going to listen to you now that you're fucking half?
One baby boomer opens their mouth to me, I'm just going to tell them to shut up. That's all it's going to take. You wrecked this country. You gave it away.
Right. They gave the country away, yeah.
Yeah, basically. Just to retire 5 years early. That's it.
The generation before the baby boomers, people graduated high school, and men joined the service to keep our country where it was.
Yeah.
And now, that generation comes in, they're against going in the military, and they just basically got stoned and let the whole world just get swept out from underneath them while they were fucking partying.
They polluted the whole country.
That's what they did. And now it's too late.
Yeah.
It was real easy for the governments to do it to them, too. They said, we'll let you keep your benefits as long as you screw your kids and the next generations out of theirs.
That too. They lost all our benefits.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't defend us.
But you could keep yours. Yeah. That's how they tricked them into doing it.
Right.
Now, had they taken their benefits like ours way at that time, something might have happened. But they were so stupid and on cloud nine, they didn't fucking realize how the very next generation lost everything.
They didn't care. They didn't care about their kids at all or their grandkids. They did not even give a shit about any of them.
And if you look, I see a lot of my friends whose parents are the same fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the baby boomers gave birth to Gen X, basically, and Gen Y, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been their kids, the kids that ended up with virtually nothing.
Right. And then these are the same people that have the balls to say,
yeah,
how come your kids are lazy? Well, here's why.
Yeah, they criticize millennials like
they're making less money than you with no benefits, and you wonder why they don't want to work.
Right.
You wouldn't fucking do it. If I gave you their job, would you do it? No, you wouldn't do their job. So fuck off. I tell them people that.
Me
fuck
too.
Off.
If
you wouldn't take the job without benefits when you were that 20.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you expect them to?
Yeah. Nobody ever says a thing about millennials in front of me.
They're just so fed up with the system.
Yeah.
That it's not worth it to them. They'd rather build tiny homes and not feed this system and fucking not have kids and not get married just to see how the whole system unravels.
Not have a mortgage.
Yep.
And just let it all fall apart.
Yep. And they don't even give a fuck because that's the only option they've even been given. It's not like they're handed a different option. You gave them this option. One option.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why the fuck they don't want to do anything. And it's not all of them. My son works his ass off. He works more hours than most of these fucking baby boomers ever worked.
No, they're good workers. I'm not saying they're bad workers. I'm just saying, like you said, they don't want to. They're not going to give respect to people that destroyed our system.
Right.
You want respect, you got to earn it, and they're not willing to just hand respect over for free when you assholes blew it for them. So, I don't blame them. Nobody ever criticizes a millennial in front of me because I'll jump right down their throat, man, in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy how they they criticize them. Like that cop did in the bar the other day. He said these millennials are against the police because I'm like, no, they're not against the police. They're against police brutality. They're not against police as a whole.
Yeah.
They're just against the unfair treatment of people with police brutality, and we'll just leave it there. It's that simple.
And now
before, no one ever said anything.
Well, now they can put it on social media, and before you couldn't.
Well, before they weren't as bad. They've really gotten bad, the police.
Yeah.
Years ago, man, they would drive you home, or you could chit chat with them. Now you open your mouth, they stun gun you and beat the fuck out of you and say you resisted arrest just because you're trying to state a case.
Yeah.
You don't have a case.
By some idiot bully who was a bully in middle school.
Yeah.
Who shouldn't even really be a cop. I mean, we should have people on the street hire cops, not the police department shouldn't hire them. It should be like a group of people outside the force, like a committee of people from the community.
Well, here's the thing.
Because they hire people just like them.
You mentioned these cops that beat some dude up in a cell or some chick or whatever the other day.
Yeah, some guy in Louisville. It's like a national thing. They're going to sue him, and it's great. They got fired.
And you know what's going to happen? They could go out of state or to another police department, and they don't even really do a background check. They'll just get another fucking job because it's real hard to find cops, so they'll just hire them anyway.
Yeah.
Up that statistic of how many police have been fired for misconduct, and just go right to another police station like nothing ever happened. And here we have proof that they're not worthy of the position.
There needs to be an outside group of people that hires them, not the police department.
How do you tell a cop that got fired for brutality? How do you tell him not to be brutal when the very next town hires him? He feels like he didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He just feels like, oh, I can't be at this police department because people know me, but they're all in bed together with beating people up, or he'd be out